Welcome to Apex Philosophy, the perfect place to find motivation. Be sure to subscribe and listen every day so you can become your best self. Please like and share the video to help inspire others.
25 Rules of Poverty, How Not to Get Rich. Graham Stephan introduces me to a concept he discovered a long time ago called Inversion Thinking. The idea originated from his personal hero, a man named Charlie Munger. During one of his seminal talks, he introduced inversion thinking, a process by which you solve problems by asking the opposite. And by opposite, we mean negative. For example, if you are trying to get a good grade, you ask yourself what kind of practices can't give you a good grade. So that would include not participating in class, turning to delinquent behavior, and more. Similarly, if you want to improve your relationship with your spouse, you'll ask what can destroy that relationship. It can be mistrust, dishonesty, and even jealousy. Afterward, now that you understand these things, it will be easier for you to come up with the right things. You see, our brains are wired to solve problems rather than to improve. Even during the process of improving, we are looking for possible flaws within a system. Human evolution tells us that our brain is tuned into this process because we are constantly trying to look for what is dangerous so we can avoid it. For example, you may avoid topics that are sensitive in order to cultivate a new relationship. The biological processes behind this behavior are actually caused by the desire to be in a group. Humans are social beings and thrive more often in the synergized efforts of the different members of the group, even if those same members may also be a threat. Nonetheless, we are bound to socialize and have the need to belong to a group. And despite what our anxiety tells us or how introverted we are, we cannot deny the fact that we have socialized at least once in our lives. And almost every day we use inversion thinking to further our lives. We are going to use inversion thinking to determine what it takes to become rich. We're going to start by asking ourselves what a poor man would do, then do the opposite. Rule number 1, start today. Graham Stephan once said, "The first and best way to stay poor is to start tomorrow." And he couldn't be more right. Starting later means starting late, and you cannot win the race if you start after your competition. Procrastination is the enemy of progress, my friend. Procrastinators take pride in getting things done at the last minute as if it's some sort of flex, to do mediocre work in a rushed fashion. But the truth is, their progress depends on the adrenaline rush they get when a deadline is looming. But what happens when there is no deadline? They never act. They accomplish nothing. Successful people learn that every day is a deadline. They understand that the only time they have is now, so they take advantage of every moment and do it now. They do not wait for tomorrow because they know that tomorrow may never come. So my friend, I implore you to take action today. Don't wait for tomorrow or next week or next year. Start now because now is all you have. Don't let procrastination rob you of your dreams. Every moment counts, and the successful know that every day is a deadline. So take advantage of every moment and act now. Rule number 2, make discomfort your new normal. Poor people love to be comfortable. They hate trying new things or taking risks and resist learning because it's uncomfortable. But let me tell you something. Discomfort is a natural part of growth. In order to be successful, you must learn to enjoy the discomfort of being out of your comfort zone. When you try something new, you will suck at it at first. That's normal. But too many people let the fear of not being good enough stop them from even trying. They impose judgment on themselves before they even start, and that is insane. If you want to succeed, my friend, you must learn to embrace discomfort. You must get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's how you grow, that's how you learn, and that's how you achieve your dreams. Avoiding discomfort is a surefire way to guarantee that you never accomplish what you want in life. You must be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and take risks. That's the only way to achieve greatness, my friend. So let me challenge you today. Embrace discomfort. Make it your ally. Use it as a tool to push yourself to new heights. You have the power within you to achieve anything you want in life, but you must be willing to embrace discomfort and get comfortable being uncomfortable. Rule number 3, don't tolerate mediocrity. Mediocrity is dangerous. It is a slow, insidious poison that will infect every aspect of your life, your business, and your dreams. If you tolerate mediocrity from yourself or others, you are setting yourself up for failure. It is a slippery slope that leads to a downward spiral of diminishing returns. You must hold yourself to a higher standard and demand the same from those around you. Mediocrity has no place in the life of an entrepreneur, for it is the enemy of success. Think about the great leaders and CEOs of our time. They do not tolerate mediocrity, my friend. They have a burning passion for excellence that sets them apart from the rest. They hold themselves and others to a higher standard and refuse to settle for anything less. You must do the same. You must embrace a spirit of excellence that drives you to be your best self and inspires those around you to do the same. Remember, my friends, you're not just here to survive. You are here to thrive. You have a purpose, a calling, and a destiny that only you can fulfill. Rise above mediocrity. Let excellence be your guiding light, your North Star, your beacon of hope. You have the power within you to achieve greatness, my brother. Embrace it, believe it, and make it your reality. Rule number 4. Read books and apply knowledge. Another great way to stay poor is to stop learning. According to goodreader.com, 33% of high school graduates never read another book the rest of their lives, and 42% of college grads never read another book after college. 70% of U.S. adults have not been in a bookstore in the last 5 years, and 80% of U.S. families did not buy or read a book last year. So in order to be successful, you must read more. Just by reading for 15 minutes every day, instead of scrolling TikTok, you will be miles ahead of the general populace. But reading isn't enough by itself. You must also apply that knowledge. Reading lots of books and doing nothing with that knowledge is a surefire way to stay poor. It's like being in a car but refusing to turn the engine on. You may have all the fuel in the world, but without action, you won't go anywhere. Many people talk about reading and self-improvement, but they fail to apply what they have learned. They remain stuck in the same position year after year, reading dozens of books but taking no meaningful action. It's not about the number of books you read, but what you do with the knowledge you gain. That's what separates the successful from the mediocre. My friend, don't just be a reader, be a doer. Learn from the experts who have gone before you, but don't stop there. Take action, apply what you have learned, and watch your life transform. Rule number 5, fail, but don't quit. Failure is not the end, it's just the beginning. Don't let a single failure define your future. Every successful entrepreneur has faced setbacks and failures along the way, but they didn't let those failures define them. They used them as opportunities to learn, grow, and become better. If you want to become a wealthy entrepreneur, you need to embrace failure as a necessary part of the journey. It's okay to fail, but it's not okay to quit. Quitting after one failure is a surefire way to never achieve success. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. When you fail, you learn valuable lessons that you can apply to your next venture. So don't be afraid to take risks and try new things. And when you do fail, don't give up. Use that failure as motivation to try again and do better. Success is not easy, but it is possible. You have the potential to become a successful entrepreneur, but you must be willing to fail and learn from those failures. So don't be afraid to take that first step, and when you do, keep pushing forward. No matter how many times you fail, the only true failure is giving up on your dreams. Rule number 6, value your own opinion. Valuing the opinions of others over your own is an excellent way to stay poor. When you constantly seek validation from others, you give away your power and control over your life. You become a slave to other people's opinions, and that is not a path to success. If you want to become rich, you must do the opposite. You must value your own opinion above anyone else's. You must trust your own instincts and have the courage to pursue your dreams, even when others doubt you. For example, when Stan Lee created Spider-Man, his producer did not like the concept initially. And just to get it out of his system, Stan just inserted his character into a side story of one of his main comics. Later, his producer came barging into Stan's office asking him about it. Spider-Man was making the most sales and ended up being the most popular character. Stan Lee said in a speech, "If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. Stop worrying about what the idiots think and start focusing on what you want. Define success on your own terms and pursue it with all your heart. Don't let the fear of failure or the opinions of others hold you back. Embrace your uniqueness, trust your own voice, and believe in yourself." Rule number 7, fulfill your end of the promise. The 7th way to stay poor is simply to make promises to yourself and others, and then break them. When you break promises, you destroy your reputation with others. But even more importantly, you damage your own self-respect. The confidence to succeed, in my opinion, comes from respecting oneself, and that's something that has to be earned. You know how hard you can push yourself and how much more you could have done. You know when you could have gone the extra mile, made more cold calls, delivered better products, or put out better content. You know when you could have been kinder, but chose not to be. When you make promises to yourself and break them, you lose your own self-respect. This is an excellent way to stay poor. So if you want to become wealthy, start by making promises and keeping them. Respect yourself enough to follow through on your commitments, and others will respect you for it. Rule number 8, don't wait for perfect conditions. One of the best ways to stay poor is to wait for perfect conditions. It's a common mistake to think that everything has to be perfectly aligned for you to start. But here's the truth. Perfect conditions will never exist. If you're always waiting for them, you'll never get anything done. In fact, the moment the conditions change, you'll likely stop being successful. So what's the solution? Start now, even if the conditions are less than ideal. When things are at their worst, that's when you have the opportunity to prove your resilience and determination. If you can achieve success in the face of adversity, you'll be able to handle whatever challenges come your way in the future. Don't fall into the trap of waiting for the perfect moment to start. The perfect moment will never come. Instead, focus on taking action and making progress, no matter what the conditions are. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the challenges and obstacles along the way, and use them as opportunities to learn, grow, and ultimately achieve your goals. Rule number 9, pick a supportive spouse. Choosing the wrong spouse is a surefire way to stay poor. If they make you feel guilty for pursuing your dreams, then you will compromise your ambitions. You will give away your power and rely on their permission instead of their support. If you don't achieve your goals and dreams because of them, you'll end up resenting them. Instead, choose a partner who will encourage and support you, even if they don't necessarily agree with your pursuits. By doing so, you're taking control of your own destiny and not relying on someone else to dictate your path. Your spouse should be someone who wants you to be the best version of yourself and will cheer you on every step of the way. Don't let someone else's negativity hold you back from achieving your dreams. Choose a supportive partner who will help you reach your goals. Rule number 10, don't assume the world is fair. Only poor people think the world is fair, then they complain about the unfair it is when they are dealt a bad hand. Maybe we've been guilty of this ourselves at some point in our lives. But the truth is, complaining does nothing to change our circumstances. Instead of assuming that the world is fair and getting upset when it doesn't live up to our expectations, assume that the world is unfair and act accordingly. Accept that life is not always easy, and it's the difficult times that shape you into who you are. Sean Whalen once said, "Your mess is your message," and it's a beautiful reminder that our struggles and hardships can be turned into strengths and opportunities. We must embrace the challenges that come our way and use them to build our character. We can't lament the process that creates the outcome we desire. We must accept and move on. Like a piece of steel that is strengthened through heat and hammering, we too can become stronger through the difficulties we face. So stop complaining and start accepting the challenges that come your way as opportunities for growth and improvement. Rule number 11, work on what matters most. Another great way to stay poor is to avoid working on what matters most. If you want to be successful and achieve your goals, you must focus your time and energy on the things that truly matter. This means being intentional and purposeful about how you spend your time and resources. Instead of filling your day with busy work and meaningless tasks, take a step back and evaluate what is truly important. Identify the few things that will have the biggest impact on your success and focus on those. This may mean saying no to other commitments or delegating tasks to others. It may also mean making sacrifices and prioritizing your time in a way that aligns with your goals. While it may be tempting to procrastinate on the things that matter most, this will only lead to stagnation and lack of progress. By focusing on the right things, you can make meaningful strides toward your goals and achieve success. Don't let the fear of difficult tasks or the allure of easy, meaningless work hold you back. Remember that success requires focus, discipline, and hard work. Rule number 12, you don't need to look rich. Poor people love to spend money they don't have to try and look richer than they are, always trying to impress others. If you want to get rich, you must prioritize being rich over looking rich. Don't fall into the trap of prioritizing appearances over results. It's not about how you look, but what you do that matters. Sure, dressing the part can help, but it's not the key to success. To be truly rich, you need to spend less and value your own approval over that of others. You need to be willing to make sacrifices and look humble to others, rather than sacrificing your own beliefs to impress others. Remember, the road to riches is not an easy one. It requires discipline, hard work, and sacrifice. You may have to look poor in the short term, but it's worth it if it helps you achieve your long-term goals. So focus on what really matters, and don't get distracted by superficial things like appearances. Keep your eyes on the prize, and don't let anything hold you back from achieving your dreams. Rule number 13, don't expect the government to save you. Poor people expect Big Daddy government to bail them out, make things fair, raise the minimum wage, or give them universal income. None of this will make you rich. Expecting the government or others to save you is a surefire way to stay poor. No one can save you except for yourself. Waiting for someone else to come to your rescue is a waste of time and effort. It's important to take ownership of your life and work towards improving it. Don't rely on anyone else to make things happen for you. Instead, take action and create your own success. You have the power to change your circumstances, and the only way to do that is by taking responsibility for your life. Don't wait for someone else to save you, save yourself. Rule number 14, don't take advice from poor people. Poor people are like crabs in a bucket, continually pulling each other down with terrible advice. If you want to get rich, you cannot take advice from poor people. You need to surround yourself with successful people who know how to create wealth and can provide guidance based on their own experiences. You are the sum of the people you spend the most time with. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people. Seek out mentors and advisors who have already achieved the success that you desire and learn from them. Do not let the opinions of those who have not achieved what you want to achieve influence your decisions. Stay focused on your goals. Seek out knowledge from those who have already achieved success, and take action toward creating your own wealth. Rule number 15, start something new today, continue tomorrow. Another great way to stay poor is not to stick with something. Start something new every day. Starting something new can be exhilarating, but if you want to be successful and avoid staying poor, you must learn to see things through. Starting new things without completing them is a recipe for failure. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new project or idea, but once the initial enthusiasm wears off, the hard work begins. If you give up at the first sign of difficulty, you'll never achieve your goals. To be successful, you must be willing to put in the work and see things through to the end. This means pushing through the tough times and overcoming obstacles. Don't let the fear of hard work or failure hold you back from achieving your dreams. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a journey. So start something new today, but commit to seeing it through to the end. Only then will you be on the path to success and true wealth. Rule number 16, do what is necessary, not your best. Doing your best is not enough. It is just an excuse for mediocre results. The market doesn't care about your best, your boss doesn't care, and the universe doesn't care. What matters is what is required to succeed. If you cannot deliver what is required, then you must become better until your best exceeds the minimum standard. This requires sustained effort and a willingness to improve continuously. So, start by figuring out what is needed to achieve success. Once you know that, work on developing the skills and knowledge necessary to get there. Don't settle for being average, aim for excellence. Yes, it will be hard work, but it's the only way to achieve your goals. Don't fall into the trap of giving yourself a pat on the back for just trying. That's not good enough. The only way to get ahead is to exceed expectations consistently. If you keep doing your best without getting better, you will stay poor. So aim high, put in the effort, and keep pushing yourself until your best is better than what is required. Only then will you see the success you desire. Rule number 17, don't do what everyone else is doing. If you want to be successful and wealthy, you can't follow the herd mentality. Most people are content with mediocrity, so if you do what everyone else is doing, you'll end up just like them, average and struggling to get by. To achieve greatness, you must take risks and blaze your own trail. You can't let the fear of failure or the disapproval of others hold you back from pursuing your dreams. The most successful people in the world are those who dared to be different and didn't conform to societal norms. They forged their own path and created their own opportunities, and that's exactly what you need to do if you want to be in the 1%. Don't be afraid to be different, be confident in your abilities, and trust your instincts. Rule number 18, do more, talk less. Poor people love to brag about their big ideas, their goals, or their dreams, but often accomplish none of them. Talking about your goals and affirmations may make you feel good, but it doesn't actually produce results. Spending all day preparing to work without actually doing any work won't get you anywhere. It's a common trap that many people fall into, especially in the age of social media. People want to project an image of success without actually putting in the work. But the reality is, success comes from taking action and putting in the effort. Instead of talking about what you're going to do or spending all day preparing to work, just start doing it. Break down your goals into actionable steps and take those steps. Don't worry about being perfect or having everything figured out before you start. Just take action and make progress. That's the only way to achieve your goals and avoid staying poor. Don't get caught up in the trap of talking more and doing less. Just start taking action. Rule number 19. Find something that works. If you want to stay poor, one great way is to find something that works and then stop doing it. It sounds ridiculous, but it's a trap that many people fall into. When we're in a bind and need money quickly, we're suddenly able to come up with all sorts of creative solutions. We're willing to work long hours, make cold calls, and hustle until we've earned enough to pay our bills. But as soon as the crisis is over, we tend to let our guard down. We start procrastinating, making excuses, and avoiding the work that we know will bring us success. It's like we forget what we did to get out of our previous predicament and assume that things will magically work themselves out. Of course, they never do. If you want to break free from this cycle, you need to start by acknowledging that you already know what works. Whether it's making calls, networking, or putting in extra hours, you've done it before and you can do it again. Stop making excuses and start taking action. Do what you know works and keep doing it until you see results. Remember, success is not a one-time event. It's the result of consistent, focused effort over time. If you want to achieve your goals and escape the cycle of poverty, you need to be willing to do the work consistently, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Find something that works, and don't stop doing it until you've achieved the success you desire. Rule number 20. Don't believe what other people think about you. Believing what other people think about you more than what you think about yourself is a self-sabotaging behavior that can keep you trapped in poverty. If you want to be rich, you must believe in yourself. It is important to cultivate self-awareness and self-confidence. Start by identifying your strengths, values, and passions, and focus on building your skills and knowledge in those areas. Surround yourself with people who support and encourage your growth, and seek out mentors and role models who can offer guidance and inspiration. Remember the wise words of Henry Ford: whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you are correct in any case. So believe that you can. Rule number 21. Become irreplaceable. When it comes to building wealth, it's important to avoid being replaceable. If your job can be done by anyone, it's unlikely to make you wealthy in the long run. Instead, focus on developing skills and knowledge that others don't have. This will make you irreplaceable, or at least less replaceable, which is key to staying competitive in the job market. To become irreplaceable, you need to invest in yourself and develop a unique set of skills that will make you stand out from the crowd. Look for opportunities to learn new things and gain valuable experience, whether it's through courses, internships, or on-the-job training. The more you learn, the more you'll be able to do, and the less replaceable you'll become. It's also important to think outside the box and be creative in your approach to work. Don't just follow what everyone else is doing. Find ways to do things differently and more efficiently. This will make you a valuable asset to any company or client you work for and help you stay ahead of the competition. Rule number 22. Hire excellent people. Another way to stay poor is to hire dumb people. Hiring dumb people can have disastrous consequences for any business or organization. These individuals lack the necessary skills and knowledge required for the job, and their incompetence can lead to costly mistakes, missed opportunities, and lost productivity. Moreover, hiring underqualified staff can cause other high-performing employees to leave the organization, leading to a decline in morale and a loss of talent. If you want to build a successful business, it's essential to hire people who are competent, dedicated, and possess the skills and knowledge necessary to drive your organization forward. It is easy to let your pride stop you from hiring people that are smarter than you, but smart and talented employees can bring new ideas, fresh perspectives, and innovative solutions to your organization's challenges, leading to long-term success and profitability. In today's competitive business environment, it's more important than ever to prioritize hiring the right people. Invest time and resources into finding qualified candidates who share your vision and are committed to helping your organization grow. Don't fall into the trap of hiring underqualified staff just because they are cheap or easy to find. In the long run, this strategy will only lead to failure and disappointment. Rule number 23. Don't always assume you are right. A common but effective strategy for staying poor is assuming you are always right. It's a mentality that can be detrimental to your success. If you always think you know everything, how will you ever learn something new? The most successful entrepreneurs have an insatiable thirst for knowledge, and they seek it from all possible sources. They understand that everyone has something to teach, and they are humble enough to learn from anyone. They recognize that learning is an ongoing process and that it's essential to success. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, if you cannot learn, then what's the point? So don't give yourself zero advantages by assuming you know it all. Instead, adopt a growth mindset and seek out knowledge and wisdom wherever you can find it. Don't let the need to be right hold you back from the riches you desire. Be open to learning, and success will follow. Rule number 24. If you make a mistake, don't wait. Another surefire way to stay poor is to keep repeating the same mistake over and over again. We've all seen people who keep dating the same person, making the same business mistake, or pursuing something that stopped working long ago. They keep doing it, hoping that somehow it will work out differently this time. But as we all know, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep getting the same results. It's important to recognize when something isn't working and to be willing to change course. You must have the courage to try new things and be willing to make mistakes along the way. Making mistakes is part of the learning process, but repeating the same mistake is a recipe for failure. Remember, what you're doing now has gotten you to where you are today. If you want to change your outcome, you need to change your approach. So be brave, be bold, and be willing to try new things. Success is within your grasp if you're willing to learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward. Rule number 25. Spend way less than you make. Last but not least, and I cannot stress this one enough, one of the simplest ways to stay poor is by spending more than you earn. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're constantly living beyond your means, you'll always be in a state of financial hardship. This is a common trap that many people fall into. They increase their income, but instead of saving or investing, they adjust their lifestyle to match their new income. They start buying expensive cars, taking exotic vacations, and living in luxurious homes, even though they can't afford them. The sad truth is that the more you spend, the poorer you will become. It's time to shift your mindset from looking rich to being rich. Start living within your means and focus on saving and investing. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Produce more and consume less. Remember, it's better to live a modest lifestyle and have financial freedom than to live extravagantly and be constantly stressed about money. So make a conscious effort to control your spending and focus on building your wealth. Your future self would thank you for it. In conclusion, the power of inversion thinking lies in our ability to identify potential threats and pitfalls more easily than we can identify solutions. By flipping the 25 rules of poverty on their head, we can avoid making the same mistakes that keep us stuck in poverty. It's time to start taking action and applying these principles to your life. Start by reading books and implementing the strategies outlined by successful people. Choose a spouse and friends that support and encourage your aspirations. Take responsibility for your circumstances and don't blame others for your shortcomings. Value your own opinions over the opinions of others and believe in yourself. Focus on what matters most, ignore the rest. Avoid making promises, but when you do, keep them. Start something new and stick with it until you succeed. Seek out discomfort to push yourself to new heights. Become irreplaceable by mastering a skill or service. Assume that you don't know everything and be willing to learn from others. And above all, make more money than you spend, avoid debt, and save for the future. By following these principles, you'll set yourself on a path toward success and financial freedom. Remember, the road to success is never easy, but it's worth the effort. Don't be afraid to make mistakes and learn from them. Keep pushing yourself and always strive for excellence. With dedication, hard work, and consistency, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Thank you for watching. Comment below, which of these have you been doing wrong? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.